you're going to have two different types of these. One is going to be like A, and then one is going to be like B. What's the biggest difference you notice besides the exponent, besides one has a 4 and one has a 128 and the other one has a 3 and the other one has a 21? What's the biggest glaring difference between the two types of problems? What does one have that the other one doesn't? A parenthesis. Okay? So, same way whenever we were solving quadratics, you had a way to isolate. That's really what we're doing. We're isolating x. So we're either going to have to isolate it before the parenthesis, or if there isn't one, we're not going to have to worry about it. So like if I had on A, if I had 4x equals 128, what would I do first? Like if I had a problem that instead of x to the fifth, if it said 4x equals 128, what would you do? What would you do? If I needed to solve for x, what would you do? Divide by 4. I'm going to do the same thing here, where it's 4x to the fifth equal to 128, and I'm going to divide by 4. The only difference is I'm going to have x to the fifth equal to 128 divided by 4. So how much?
32.
Oh, 32. I thought you said 22. Now, I still need to solve for x. So it's the fifth power. So what do I need to do to both sides? Take the fifth root. What's going to happen to the left side? What's it going to be left with? X. Now, it's the fifth root, so is it going to be odd, even, both, or excuse me, positive, negative, both, what? Just positive, right? Because it's odd. So it's a positive value, so it's just going to be odd. Or it's just going to be positive, rather, because you're taking it to an odd root. So what is the fifth root of 32? 2. Now, do we need a calculator for that one? Or can we look up at the blue and white board and find 32 in the fifth column? I can find it in the fifth column. Okay? It's the fifth root, so I'm going to go over to the fifth row, or the fifth column, rather. I'm going to go all the way down, and the fifth root of 32 is just going to be a positive 2. Same way then on B, if I have x minus 3 to the fourth power equal to 21. Now this one's a little bit different because I have a parenthesis, and I need to solve for the variable inside the parenthesis. You've already done problems that looked like this right here, where it was x minus 3 squared equal to 21. You did that first semester, whenever we solved quadratics then, in chapter 3. Or 2, I don't remember which one. It's the same idea. The only thing that's different, instead of what we did in gray and just take the square root of both sides, what am I going to do on the one in green now? Instead of taking the square root, what root am I going to take? The fourth root. Why the fourth root? Because there's a little bitty 4 up there. What if there was a little bitty 5 up there? I'd take the fifth root. What if there was a little bitty 3 up there? I'd take the third root. Don't overcomplicate it, because you've already done problems like this before. Please. Because don't make it harder than it is, because it's not. So then if I take the fourth root of both sides, so I have x minus 3 on the left side. Do I know what the fourth root of 21 is? Is 21 in my column here? to where I can do this without a calculator. It goes 1, 16, 81. Do I have a 21 anywhere in that row? No. Can I divide 21 by 16 evenly? No. So what am I going to do with that 21? Just leave it in there, right? Now, it's to the fourth power, so what do I need to put in front of everything? Plus or minus. So I'm going to have a plus or minus the fourth root of 21. Now, I still need to get x by itself. So what do I need to do on the left and the right side? Add 3. And I'm just going to be, this is the easiest problem you'll do, because I'm just going to have 3 plus or minus the fourth root of 21. Do I know what the decimal version of this is? Nope. Do I want to know? Nope. It says a hospital purchased an ultrasound machine for $50,000. Hospital expects the useful machine, the useful life of the machine to be 10 years. Basically, anytime a company buys something, schools buy computers, hospitals buy x-ray machines, ultrasound machines, whatever, they expect them to last a certain amount of time. Okay? You're never going to be able, it's just like a car, you're never going to be able to sell it for what you paid for it. Okay? It's probably going to go down or depreciate in value. So it says 10 years of time at which the value has depreciated to $8,000. Okay? The hospital used the declining balance method for depreciation, so the annual depreciation rate, which is R in decimal form, is given by the following formula. So in the formula, N is for the useful life, S is for the salvage value in dollar, that's how much it's worth at that time, and C is the original cost. What depreciation rate did the hospital use? All you have to do here is just make sure you plug in values to their respective spots. Do we know what R is? No, that's what we're trying to figure out. So whenever I do this, it's going to be as easy as R equals 1 minus, what's going to go in for S? What's the salvage value? How much is it worth now? No, we bought it for $50,000. How much is it worth now? $8,000, right?
Oh, I see.
So now, how much did we pay for it? What was the original, or C for the original cost? $50,000, right? How many years did we have this thing? 10, so it's going to be to the 1/10th power. Now, with this, depending on what you have or what you can do or how much you need to show, work, or do, I'm basically going to have 1 minus 8 over 50 is 4 over 25 to the 1/10th power. Okay. Or you could type it in if you need to. If I'm going to have the 1/10th power, I could have 1 minus the 10th root of 4 divided by 25. Okay? It's really up to you as far as how you type it in, what you want to type it in, that sort of thing. Okay? But you're going to get a decimal, and then it's going to basically say what kind of rate, how much money did, or what rate did it lose of its original value, or each year. Okay, so whenever we do this again, and if you want to just type it in basically straight off of what we had, But if I just type in 1 minus, I'm just going to go 4 divided by 25 to the 1/10 power. So 0.167, so about what percentage did it lose each year? If it's 0.167, 16.7%. Okay, so it lost about 16.7% per year. Is probably what they use. With any of these is making sure you pay attention to if you have a parenthesis or if you don't, and then whatever your power is to take the root of that. So the third root, the fifth root, fourth root, whatever you have. And then knowing if it's an even number, that it's going to be a plus or a minus version of it. That you'll have most likely 2 values as opposed to 1 value. You're just going to